For instance, Basharu is in charge of some area and the people are being threatened, that's where we can come in. That's when I learned the first lesson about respect for national interest by nations, not the interest of other nations. If you're going to come into Nigeria, you're going to affect the business relations Nigeria has with a lot of countries. What was the first country that reacted to Trump's statement? It was China. And I don't need to tell you the extent of the interest the Chinese state now has in this country. Across all sectors. Lithium, China is getting more than anybody is getting in Nigeria. So the whole point of this preamble is, let us stop deceiving ourselves. Because Donald Trump, if he is coming to bomb insurgents, please, will you show your ID card in order to be bombed when they arrive? How would he know? But to the substantive and serious matter pertaining to his comments, let's start with reality. Number one, there is insurgency in the country. Number two, there are places where communities have actually been wiped out and their land taken over. True or false? In addition to all of this, you have the growing impression, and when I say growing, this growth is for a period of about 12 years now, that an insurgent or a bandit or a header can get away with whatever he does. Am I correct? Military assault rifles, AK-47. None of us here can buy a Mossberg. That's the pump action. But you see somebody who is about 17 or 18 is carrying one. He's loaded with extra magazine. So, whereas there may actually be no concerted state endorsement, the impression is that there is. And that's a problem. Some 2 years ago, a plane carrying about 20 soldiers was shot down in Niger State. I don't know if you remember that. The governor came to address the state. Please, don't think of hitting back at them, go and negotiate with them. Those are people's brothers, sisters, fathers, uncles, siblings. That somebody is wearing uniform does not remove the fact that he's first of all a human being and a Nigerian. And you think about it, the military represents the highest level of the global human capital. Not that they are professors or anything, but in that their profession, you progress by demonstrating some kind of knowledge from one rank to another. How long does it take, and how much does it take to produce one major? How many soldiers do we have? They are overstressed. So going to Trump, I didn't know that moderators, we keep talking about terrorists, ISWAP, and all of that. I didn't know that moderators are also terrorists. They gave me 10 minutes. If I had tried beyond 10 minutes, they would come and carry me away from here. But let me tell you, because you don't know. I have a black belt in Shotokan Karate and a brown belt in Wing Chun Kung Fu. So, if you made up your mind to join your ancestors before your time, come on. But I'll try to keep to the time because we're dealing with issues we're all familiar with. It was the news out there that Trump was responding to. Nigerian media was putting out content. Some people went to appeal to authorities or local institutions in the US that Christians are being wiped out. So it's first of all news from here. Second, you remember when Americans were kidnapped, they came here, took their people and went away. So there's possibility of infiltration. Third and most critically, when we talk about insurgency, let us also bear some things in mind. The insurgency in Nigeria is needed by stakeholders in the global arms trade. Are we aware of that? Those guns must be sold, those those factories must keep producing. And so you find a combination of several factors, and I'll end on that by citing an incident that occurred in 2023, or thereabouts, November. Some of us were invited as guests by the multinational joint task force in N'Djamena, comprising the military of Nigeria, Cameroon, Chad, and Niger. When we got to Maiduguri, to go to N'Djamena, we had to use a helicopter. The pilots were Russians. We were flying almost at route level. Nobody fired catapult at us. There is a serious economy around the crisis. There is a serious international element around the crisis. Now, with the reaction of Trump, which is a forceful global endorsement of some of the things that are happening here we are not paying attention to. Oh, sorry. Also there was a facility with which you could see everything going on here via satellite. If I come out and show my watch, it will zoom and pick the watch. The sun movements. Sadly, we also heard, I don't know why, whether it's true, while I was there, there's also some movement of the Chibok girls. You ask yourself, will Nigeria benefit more from the presence of America here or from the engagements that will give them logistical advantage in terms of see what's going on in the environment in order to focus on targeted engagement. 200 people will ride motorcycles into a place, finish, carry people and go. I try to understand it, I can't. Because to follow a motorcycle, I must hold the person riding it. Am I correct? Yes. And yet I'm being kidnapped. I don't understand it. People could come into a place and carry over 300 students from Chibok. Arrival is one thing. Time you to get the students onto the vehicles is another, and then they could actually go away. People will come into a community and kill substantial percentage of that community and then occupy the place. These are facts. But these facts are different from saying that that is what is happening everywhere. Am I correct? Am I correct? Yes. Therefore, America has put the matter on the global map. Outrage is real. How can Nigeria as a nation benefit maximally from Trump's public statement? I suggest 2 or 3 things that can happen. I already mentioned some logistical support. Everything you're doing is available online. Satellites are beamed everywhere. If we have preemptive data and information, that's one way to go. Also, these matters would not have escalated to this point if America had not, under Barack Obama, imposed all kinds of strictures on Nigeria. We couldn't buy arms. They said we were not respecting the human rights of the bandits. But you must ask. You must confirm that somebody is human before you talk about his rights. Am I right? If I can come and wipe out an entire village, including children and women, cutting open the belly of pregnant women, you should have difficulty understanding what kind of human rights you should give to me. That's different from encouraging mass murder and inappropriate way of handling such matters. So I'll bring it to a close by saying a few things for us to walk away with. Donald Trump, as a leader in the international space, has a right and a duty to take a position on what is brought to his attention. Donald Trump has a duty to also respect the sovereignty of states. Having brought it into the public domain, the question for all of us and for him is, how can we benefit maximally from this global awareness that has arisen? How can we further assist our military? How can we drive local whole of society approach to intelligence gathering? If you send me as a battalion commander to your village, I'm not from your village, I don't know anybody there, my troops don't know anybody there. But you, the villagers or the community people, will know any stranger. Any man who had just joined you within the last 1 month, you will know. So if you don't give me intelligence, I won't help you. Now we have communities that are not only not giving intelligence, but actually subverting it. And why? Because you come to the level of civilian leadership and you discover that fundamentally that's where the problem is. I'm a local government chairman. I get about between 100 and 250 million every month. Nothing happens. I'm not living in the state. I'm living in Kaduna or in Abuja. So what is it that will create a local economy? They say, oh, okay, we now have refugee camps, we have palliatives for refugees. We must make a distinction between capital consumption and investment in development. You have the commissions. Northeast Development Commission is doing a lot. When you buy mosquito net and bags of rice, it's money that is being spent. Consumption, it will lead to nothing. And it can go for the next 200 years. Who is reclaiming the environment where those people left? Because as you live is in the north, real desertification will begin to occur. And to reclaim it, it will not take you less than 18 to 36 months. It's not happening. We need more money. People are suffering. And you're receiving surrendering Boko Haram. The way our dear brother Sulu is receiving. The money for development of the state is being used not to even develop people, but to just feed them. Or to be quite honest, to take substantial part of the money, put it in your pocket and take their name in vain. Many are investing to ensure that the refugees are made there. So the implications are simple. Number one, our matter would not have gone to the public global space if there was no matter. Number two, you cannot blame Donald Trump, who sees himself and his country as a champion of democracy, never mind that he's ruling by executive orders, which is not democratic. Number four, and more critically, we have to make the specific demands based on knowledge, saying if America is interested and serious about helping the Federal Republic of Nigeria to deal with the insurgency, these are the kind of things we need. Drone facilitated engagements, and America will say, no, we'll do this. Or in doing this, we'll come to help to this limited degree. So in the absence of specific demands, in the absence of a full appreciation, because in all of this, when you come to say Donald Trump is totally wrong, even you saying it, you know you're lying. But we don't say that we'll outsource our identity, our sovereignty to him or to any other state. Nobody. That's why I started with Abiola. Nobody is going to come here to solve our problem. It will cost them money. They are sovereign states. They can't come to spend it for you and I. What is it they'll get in our economy to warrant that? That's what will bring them. So, in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump's position on Nigeria is based on information available to him. You cannot change that position by denying everything outright. You'll be lying. If you start by pointing out the extent to which he's not in error, and in addition you say, with ABCD available, we'll even deal with these ones he's talking about, that will make a lot of sense. In other words, self-deception, saying nice things to make the government or enemies of government happy is not the solution. Thank you very much.